Hey guys, it's Nemo. So I wanted to do a little something different, obviously from my usual ASMR videos. But lately I've seen a few other furries, and especially fursuiters, say that they've had coworkers or other people IRL find their furry accounts on Instagram or something, and a lot of people are pretty chill with it, but you have some people who are just very not chill with it, and they think there's something inherently wrong with us, just for wearing a colorful animal costume, and this is something I've been thinking about for a good while now, and it's kind of been weighing on me. And I thought, just because I've seen a few other people mention this or talk about it, that now would be a good time to talk about it. So I guess I'll start with saying why I became a furry in the first place. I guess it's one of those things literally anyone could have seen this coming. This was kind of the inevitable, outcome out of all of it. I was a massive, huge animal nerd as a kid. I was a dinosaur kid, of course, too, but animals was my thing. I loved watching Discovery and Animal Planet, any documentaries or anything I could. I watched Lion King so many times. I'm genuinely surprised that the VHS tape probably actually still works. I'm surprised I did not wear that tape out. Also, yes, that shows my age that I had a VHS. Also, yes, I am an older furry. Also, I am 36 as of, making this video. So it's just kind of one of those, I was kind of a closeted furry for a long time. It was something I was always very interested in. I really do think it was Shang Fu Dog was one of the first suitors that really started popping up on my Instagram, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. Holy crap, I didn't know fursuits could look like that. Because of course my unfortunate introduction to furries was the CSI episode. If you know, you know. And thankfully, that didn't taint my view of furries at all. It didn't, make me think that they're weird or something's wrong with them. It was just kind of that looks really cool, actually. It looks like a fun time. I would enjoy wearing a fursuit. And, if I was a kid now, when this is a more widespread, easily accessible thing, I guess, I would have been all over this. I know there's some discourse with the Spirit Halloween costume ones, but, I would have had at least one, and I would have worn it nonstop all the time as a kid. I digress, though. But, so last year was, 2024. At least I believe it was. Yeah, I think it was 2024. Time has kind of slipped me by at this point. But I was watching furry ASMR for a good while, along with all of the other regular ASMR videos that I watched. And it was one of those things that really just kind of hit different. It just felt, and don't get me wrong, a lot of them felt very genuine, and they helped me get through some very rough nights. They helped me fall asleep when no one else could. They helped calm down anxieties and soothe my mind when I was going through bad depressive episodes. And ASMR just in general, I'm extraordinarily grateful to them for those things. And it was the passing of Raleigh and Snowball that kind of finally solidified my decision that you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get a fursuit. I'm going to get a mic. I'm going to do ASMR. Because especially Raleigh, their videos just were always an absolute comfort for me, and I absolutely adored them. And it really cut me deep when I saw that post about them. I was genuinely very deeply hurt by that. And I was trying to fall asleep the night that I found it out too. So I was just sitting there crying, trying to fall asleep and trying to not be crying myself to sleep, which I did anyways. But that is why I wanted to do this, and why I wanted to do ASMR, because I wanted to give back to the community that did so much for me. And I think that's an entirely reasonable, kind of wholesome, good reason to want to do it. I do enjoy it. I do enjoy wearing the suit. I love it. I like doing stupid, silly videos for TikTok and like YouTube Shorts and that. Like I really enjoyed doing that. And I have fallen in love with this suit so much. If you'd missed my like unboxing and that, it was a Artistic Liberty commission, and it's just the artist really. It's like he knew what I wanted, even though I didn't know what I wanted. And I love this character, and I love what I've turned him into. So that's why I wanted to do this. It's not like I do anything weird, and I know there are people that do some stuff with their suits. Like, okay, you know what? That's fine. You do you. As long as we're all consenting adults, no one cares, right? No one's getting hurt. It's all good. But like, this is literally all I do. I film ASMR videos, I film goofy TikToks and things, and I call it a day. And as of this year, I started going to conventions as well. So that's kind of all it really is. It's just a fun little hobby on the side. But I lost a friend within this last year, and I think like it is partially due to this. So I have known this friend for like 20 years. It would be 20 years, like as of this year. I believe, because we met in high school, and like we're gonna info dump or maybe trauma dumping a little bit here, but this was a good friend. Like we hung out all the time in high school, and then even after, you know, like just going and doing like normal young adult, older teen things back in the day, and you know, she was a really, really good close friend. When she got married, I ended up being her maid of honor. And after she got married, she kind of like stopped talking to me for a while. And then it turned out she moved across the country to another state and didn't tell me about it. I had to find out via like Facebook posts. And that kind of hurt. Because like I thought we were close and we were cool. You know, I was the maid of honor at your wedding, and then you just kind of decide to like, okay, bye, I'm not gonna say anything, I'm not even saying bye, just dipping out. And also that hurt a lot. And yet we just kind of talked a little bit here and there, like on Facebook Messenger and that was kind of it. But then like a few years later, like I think this was back in 2017, she ended up getting a divorce and moving back, and she didn't really have, you know, a lot of other friends or anything, at least none that she really kept in contact with or could get back in contact with. But, you know, she got back in contact with me, and, you know, we became best friends again. Like, because, I mean, we were friends before we became best friends. Because my actual previous best friend had gotten stolen from me, from someone I introduced them to, but that's a whole other story. But I didn't, like, hold the fact that she just kind of ditched me over her head. I thought that would be kind of like really wrong to do, so I was just like, you know what? No, she's my friend. She always was. People get weird when they get married and get into relationships. It happens, whatever. Me and her husband hated each other anyways. That was some, you know, post-high school disagreements. But, you know, whatever. So we became best friends. So we were like best friend status for like 4 or 5 years, roughly. Wait, 6 or 7 years. Oh my gosh. Not my strong suit, math. So, you know, we've known each other forever. She knows me. She knows who I am. It's not, there's no question of our character at all. So it kind of took me a while last year to tell her about, you know, this, about my suit, about becoming a furry. And I told her my reasons why, like, because I wanted to do, you know, the ASMR and everything. But it was like when I actually sent her the picture of my suit, and like I kind of expected, because she's very like, not frugal, but like financially savvy, like she's good about saving money and things. So spending on something like this is just like, are you freaking serious? And I get that. So I expected that, but like her reaction was just like, oh, okay, sure. Just kind of like one of those weird, apprehensive, like, she said she was happy for me, especially when I said I started, like, my channel and everything, but, like, she even did admit that, like, the furry thing made her uncomfortable. And I know a lot of people get uncomfortable around furries, or even just like mascot suits in general, because I will admit, as a kid at Disney, I was terrified. There's like a photo of me as a child with, family and Goofy, and I am not having a good time. I was having a bad time. I think I had a photo with Pluto, maybe, and Pluto was fine. But like Goofy and Mickey, they kind of freaked me out. That was a no-go. I was not enjoying that. And I understand, like, a lot of people, especially like adults, because you can kind of process it better, like they're not comfortable with it because you don't know who's under the mask. Like, under here, you don't know what I look like, you don't know who I am, you don't know what my intentions are. I get that. But, like, being my best friend, I would think that she would just be like, oh, yeah, orange hyena, that's extraordinarily you. Go you. All my other friends were very supportive of it. They're like, ha, that's cool. Or you're weird, but okay, yeah, that's what I expect out of you. Even my boyfriend, we were dating for, I think, 1.5 years by that point. And when I told him about my suit, he was just like, yeah, all right, that's cool. He didn't care. He genuinely didn't care. He knew I was happy, and that's all that really mattered. And, overall, I was pretty, happy with everyone's reception about it. Everyone else was cool with it, especially since I was using it to do, stuff like ASMR and that, like, good things. But, like, since I told my best friend about it, she talked to me a lot less. And, like, I tried to hang out, like, a couple times, because we used to go for walks and everything all the time together. And I tried to get her the one time, and she's like, well, I have stuff going on with my parents. I'm like, yeah, that's fine, don't worry about it, like, let me know when you're free. I don't do very much. I'm free all the time, except for, when I'm working. Whatever. And I didn't hear from her for a couple months. She ended up messaging me about, like, a in-home emergency that happened. Asked me to come over to help, and I was like, yeah, of course, like, she's still my friend, of course I'm gonna go help, even if things have been really weird, and she's been kind of, like, dodging me and ignoring me. So I was like, okay, weird. And she even prefaced that text with, like, I know things have been weird between us, and it was weird, because I'm like, no, things have been weird with you. Things have been fine on my end, I don't know what's going on there, but, like, okay, clearly you have some problems. So, like, for Christmas and then, like, her birthday back in December, we kind of did a couple things, like, got dinner and that. We did a few things closer to my birthday as well in February, and they felt weird. Like, just things felt different. They felt a little off, and I was just like, man, like, this is weird, but okay, like, it's not like and I sent her a couple times, like, some of my reels and things that I've made, because I was like, no, I'm actually really proud of this video and my editing that I'm just learning to do, because, like, I have no idea what the heck I'm doing. So I thought, like, no, I want to share with my best friend, because she's always been wildly supportive of me with everything else I've done. Like, since I started, like, really doing things with my art, and I opened my shop, and I started making the things I have, like, she's been, been my absolute cheerleader, giving me the support, and, like, I don't want to say praise, but, like, she boosted me where I needed to be boosted, like a good friend should do, and that's all I really ask for out of a friend, because, like, I do the same for her, I do the same for all my friends, like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna pump you up, but, this is one thing that really didn't sit well, and it was weird, but, like, she's still tentatively kind of cool with it. But again, outside of, like, birthdays or, like, big holiday like Christmas, we didn't see each other or hang out. And I know it was a brutal winter. It was very cold. So we didn't really go for, we couldn't really go for walks, because I didn't want to go for walks either. Just leaving the house was horrible. But it was just odd. But, like, I think what really solidified it was a couple months after that, I have had this idea for a while to do, like, a pastel goth satanic pentagram. So, like, I stitched the pentagram on there, and it's all hand stitched because that's all I do. I like to suffer. And I stitched the goat head, and I ended up making the goat head magnetic to attach to it, because I was like, I did too much work on this. It looks too nice. Like, these lines are clean. I can't cover it up. But I was really proud of it. And, like, Despite my pink, and colorful, fluffy hyena, I do actually really like goth, punk, dark, edgy things. Like, all of my friends have seen me dressed like that. I've made other actual more satanic pieces, because I've done some Black Phillip art, and it's you really can't get more satanic than Black Phillip. He is the devil. He's a goat, he represents the devil, that's the entire point. But it's not out of my realm to make something weird and edgy like that. And that's why I wanted to do it, because it's pink and purple and pastel and poppy and cute, but it's something that has heavy and dark and evil connotations. I know true Satanism isn't like that. We're not getting into religious talk like that today, but she also, that is part of the problem, is because she had found religion a few years ago, and I'm not gonna fault her for that. Anytime she had anything interesting to say, something new that she learned while at church or while reading the Bible, I was like, yeah, okay, cool, tell me about it. I'm very curious to hear. I'm curious to know, because I don't know, if you're interested, I want to hear it. Because I wasn't a fan when I was a kid. That's its own thing. But I think between that and then she is also far, I don't want to say far right, but definitely right wing. And she did vote for Trump. And we never let the political or religious stuff come in between us before. But for me personally, especially with the political thing, that was too far for me this year. I can't, with everything going on, I cannot be okay with that. When actively the things that are going on are hurting me and hurting people I care about. So that's a grounds for a hard disagreement. But we never talked about that. It was just I just kind of felt it on my own. But she was also very, now deeply religious after finding this and reading the Bible and all that. And that really, that piece really upset her. And she acted like it was a personal attack. I did it specifically to make it, make her angry and hurt her. And it's not. It was just a goofy piece that I wanted to make for myself. I mean, I threw it up in my Etsy shop just to see, but it's mostly just for me, for funsies. So, I think that was kind of the absolute go ahead to cut ties with me. Because she actually sent me a message about it, and she's it's just an art piece, man. And as an artist and someone who likes dark things, I do really resonate with that phrase of art should comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable. If it makes you feel a certain type of way like that, then it's doing it's doing its job. It's doing what it should. But I like that contrast between dark evil imagery and it's bubblegum pink. But whatever. Obviously I'm kind of hung up on it because it's just an art piece I thought was fun. I'm not out here saying we should sacrifice children or anything. And also, I'm pagan. I'm very horrifically, blatantly pagan. I have done an ASMR theme of Anubis. I'm staring at it from across the room now. I have a little, altar for Anubis. I've got him tattooed on my shoulder. It's not a secret. I've been not, very outspoken about it. I've been very upfront about it. It's not something that people don't know about me. So it's just are you really surprised by this? I don't get it. And it's just, along with being, on the right and religious like that, a lot of the, bad furry rumors and, I can't think of the word, but, all the bad press that we get is from those types of people, saying, well, they want litter boxes in the schools. Literally no one does, okay? That's such... She had even shared a story about that, and I'm just literally no one wants that. Even when I was a kid, when I was pretending to be a cat or a lion or something on the daily, all the time, 24/7, I never was oh, I want to go pee in the litter box. I want a litter box in school. No. At worst, I just, like when I was going through like dog phases, I wanted to have a chew toy with me. Because, I had like a like Nylabone, a Chewy, for pretending, and playing with. But like, come on, man. Like, this is so blatantly a lie. And they're just like, they're believing it without questioning it. And her being the type to have told me, like, don't believe everything you see. Like, well, then why are you doing that? And, like, why are you... Because, like, when I told her that I was a furry and showed her my suit, like, it kind of felt like the reaction was more like I told her I started, an OF account and was doing, like, really degenerate stuff. And I'm not. I'm literally just making noises and whispering into a microphone and filming goofy videos. There's nothing illicit going on, like, and no hate to the furries that have OFs, because, like, I love Marie Anarchy in this house. Like, she is adorable and wonderful, and I love her. Get that bag, sis. But, like, for someone being a little more, like, conservative or prude or whatever, it's still, like, it's not like I'm doing anything weird in this. Not anything weirder than what I normally do. Like, girl, you have brought me dead things. You have brought me dead animals to add to my dead animal collection. I don't know what more you want from me. Like, that's precisely what it is. Like, I'm a freaking weirdo. I like dark, macabre things. But it's just... losing my friend over something this stupid, it really hurts. And, like, I know, I'm sorry, I've been ranting and going on this whole video, but, like, I'm hoping that somebody else will kind of connect with this, because, like, I know a lot of people and a lot of furries have this problem. I wouldn't be seeing posts about it if they weren't. But it's just... like, the stigma is really too much. And, of course, like, a few bad actors really do ruin it for the entire, the entire community. But... I'm just trying to do good, wholesome things. Like, I am, because of the ASMR, like, I was once leaving the comments that people are leaving on my videos. And when people tell me that, I help them fall asleep, they were having a bad day, and then my video made, their day so much better, or that they're able to calm down. I can't express properly how that actually makes me feel. Because it warms my heart in such a deep way. And, it's insane to see those comments, because, like, I was the one leaving those on Furry ASMR Artists and other ASMR Artists videos, like, just shortly before that. So, like, to actually get those told to me about what I do, it's next level. And, like, how can you think I'm doing something weird, or that, like, I'm wrong for doing something like this and just having this as a hobby? But like, at this point, it is what it is. I don't, because of our other differences and issues that we've had, or I guess are having, whatever, I don't entirely feel inclined to fix the relationship. Like, I'm kind of cool. I'm good. It sucks that I lost somebody who was so good for me and helpful to me. And especially after, like, I just welcomed her back into my life without a second thought, after everything. And this is the one thing that's too much. And then, like, okay, sure, like, that was already kind of a bridge too far, but then, like, the Satanism thing was really just like, okay, cut those ties, done. It's just like, I mean, if you're willing to throw away 20 years for something like that, and I have been losing a lot of other friends lately, like over the last 5-6 years, like, some of them turned out to not be the person I thought they were, or was under the impression they were. Like, someone I knew for even longer than this friend, like, I'd known him since middle school, he turned out to be entirely not the person I thought he was. Because I was still friends with one of his ex-girlfriends, and, I told her kind of what was going on, because he was living with us for a while. We had to kick him out because he just would not get a job and pay rent. And that's literally, dude, like, everyone else is doing it. You have to do it. You have to be an adult and pay rent. It's not difficult. But he wouldn't. So we finally had to kick him out. And of course, like, it wasn't my home, but he made me the bad guy. Like, he severed our friendship because of that. Because he blamed me for getting kicked out. And now that I've learned who he is, like, professional victim, manipulator, like, kind of abuser. I don't want to say that, but, like, he would use people whenever he could for whatever they're willing to give, he will take. And I just didn't, especially to the extent for some of it, I didn't know he was like that. And that hurt too, because, he's a big cosplay person. And it hurts because, like, we could have sewn together, we could have craft days together, like, it feels like he took certain things from me. Like, he threw away well over 20 years of friendship and just threw it away for nothing. And it hurts. But he's not that person anymore. He never was. And I don't want him back in my life. And another friend who, of course, we're living with, like, don't live with your friends for too long. It kind of turns out terrible sometimes. But another friend, like, he would, because we also work together. Also a problem, don't do that. He would do things at work that would deliberately make things harder or more difficult for me or other coworkers later. And it's like, dude, I thought you liked our coworkers. Like, we're all pretty chill here. And, like, why are you making my job harder than it already is? Just do it the right way the first time. It doesn't take that much longer. And he was outright, I don't care. Like, oh, okay, cool. And then a few years later, he was griping because another friend was saying that, like, oh, this one, he never cleans, he never does this or this. And I was saying, like, hey, man, like, the other friend's been the one to clean the bathroom every time, all the time. He's the only one buying toilet paper down there. You need to help out and do something. And he just outright said, I'm done helping. I don't care anymore. And it's like, okay, well, first of all, you never really helped in the first place, so that is what it is. But it was just that outright unwillingness to be good to your friends and the people who were good to you. Like, when our friend bought the house, like, she kind of got it because, he was potentially going to be homeless after his mother had passed. So she kind of rushed this to do that. And dude, you're really not even going to help keep her house that she bought, like, kind of for you to a degree. Like, you're not even going to contribute to being a decent person and helping clean and stuff. And then, like, just the perpetual victim, perpetual woe is me, everything's terrible. We had another one like that too. Like, I've had several friends like that, and it's just, I can't be around that. I can't be around someone who's just going to bring me down with them. Like, it is crabs in the bucket to the max with some of these people that I know. And it is just, I don't know them anymore because I've cut ties. It's just not worth it. And it sucks because, like, you'd figure, like, by your 30s you'd have, like, a nice little core group and things would be, good. And it's just, I've lost more friends. And I don't want them back. I don't want old people coming back into my life at all. Any of them, even not these people, but, like, even from school or whatever. Like, I don't want it. So I'm down to, like, three friends now, and then my boyfriend. Okay, like 4, like, because I have a family friend who helps out a lot also. But it's just, I just don't understand, why people are willing to dismember good friendships and relationships over stupid petty things and complete misunderstandings. Because, like, we're talking again because I wrote, like, an apology letter, although I was not entirely in the wrong. I had a falling out a few years before that with a different friend, and, like, the one day I tried, like, hey, can we talk about this? And she was just like, well, I'm not ready to talk to you. And then just stopped. And we kind of started talking again because there were some other issues that, she needed friend support from pop up suddenly, which it happens, whatever, okay. I was willing to kind of, you know, forgive and just let it go. But there was still that wedge driven in. And it felt wrong. You know, like, clearly you have some problems with me that you're not expressing, and you don't want to talk it out with me. And that's the thing. They try to tell you to, like, be adults, talk it out. And it's like, they don't, though. No one wants to. No one wants to have the hard conversations or the serious conversations. And I don't get it. And I don't get that people are willing to just let something that old and that good and solid go for no reason. And I don't know, I'm tired of it. It's played out. But I have been ranting way too long about this. And I really kind of, like, I didn't have a script for this or anything. I just kind of went way off the rails. So I do apologize. But if you have listened to the end here, I do very much appreciate it. Thank you for listening to me rant. It does feel very good to get this out there. And I know that there are people out there who are having the same problems that I am. And I don't know that I can help at all. Like, I don't really have any advice about it or anything other than talk it out. Like, just have an open discussion. Talk it out. Be adults. Even if you're not an adult, you can still act like one like that. That's reasonable. But I just hope at least maybe you have some solidarity that you can find in this, and, you know, like, hey, I'm not alone. You know, other people are having this problem too. So I do hope so. You know, like, I hope it has some kind of comfort at least. I found some in that. But I appreciate you all for listening and for being here. And if you're one of my ASMR listeners, thank you for being here. It really does mean the world to me. I do very much appreciate it, more than I can express. But thank you for listening. Hopefully you're feeling better. I know I'm feeling a little bit better after getting that off my shoulders. And I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.